everyone. It is April 11th, 2022. My name is Pamela Dixon. I am an Oblate associate and I live in Ottawa, Ontario, and I go to Canadian Martyrs Parish. We continue our Lenten reflection journey, and I say peace be with you. Let me share with you what I took away from the readings that are for today. In Isaiah, I heard, "Here is my servant, in whom I delight. I put my spirit on him. I will keep you, and I will make you to be a covenant for the people and a light for the Gentiles." And in the Psalms, there is the reiteration of light with Yahweh is my light and my salvation. And then in the Gospel, John describes the evening meal where Jesus and the disciples are relaxing before Passover. And Mary, Martha's sister, anoints Jesus' feet with expensive oil and wipes his feet with her hair. Judas has some things to say about feeding the poor rather than waste the oil, and Jesus reminds everyone that he will not be with them always. So what is this telling us? I find John tremendously multidimensional, and there are many perspectives that could be taken. Jesus' death is coming, yet Lazarus is at that meal, and Lazarus represents that death is not the end. There is something after. Mary's wiping of Jesus' feet foreshadows Jesus' washing of the disciples' feet, and that reminds us of Holy Thursday. Mary is the true disciple, and some could argue that Judas is the false disciple. Or maybe the contrast in John is really between the poor and death. We as Christians can be poor in many ways, at many times, or be with poor people in any number of ways throughout our lifetime. However, our death is only once. Perhaps it's no surprise that I would like to take a closer look at Mary in the Gospel. Here she is acting like a servant, and she uses a very expensive oil, sometimes called spikenard, to interact with Jesus. She was moved to a very deep expression of love to anoint and then wipe the feet of Jesus. And this raised some eyebrows and it made some people uncomfortable. This spikenard was an expensive item. Who was she to waste it? And wiping Jesus' feet with her hair was an intimate act. Who was she to perform it? She was challenged, judged, and criticized. Yet, Jesus accepted her gift and her actions and defended her. And Mary was not uncomfortable in her decision. Jesus had a profound relationship with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And Mary was grateful to Jesus for saving her brother. Mary loved Jesus. She felt her actions were not excessive and they were just what was needed. How many of us can examine our relationship with Jesus? And rather than us be called extravagant, we have talked ourselves into mediocrity or a logical response or an internal action rather than an external action. In life, we can become afraid of not having enough stuff, of what other people are thinking of us, and how this might impact myself or my family's reputation. We have to think that Jesus' gift to us is salvation. He gave his life willingly. We should be honoring him with extravagant and excessive ways. Isaiah indicated that the Creator put light and breath and spirit into his servant. And we can consider those gifts that we received. We are servants, and Mary is the example of a selfless servant. We should be spending everything on Jesus. So let us examine our relationship with Jesus. Is love underpinning it? Does love create the foundation for all our relationships, for our faith, for our communities? If we spend our lives looking out only for ourselves, are we wasting our life? Are we then closer to Judas than to Mary? Mary shows us that devotion is selfless, both including financially, critically, judgmentally. We shouldn't be scared of any of that. Our devotion should be based on our personal love and gratitude for Jesus, much like Mary's was. And this will motivate us to use our time, our talents, and our treasures. Our devotion is linked to our personal knowing of Jesus. Mary had Jesus raise her brother from the dead, and he knew her family, and he helped her family. What experiences do we have of Jesus in our lives? The psalm reminds us that Yahweh is our light and our salvation, and Jesus is here for me. Our devotion then means we need to do action. And this action could be service, or it could be witnessing, or it could be praising, or it could be praying. What actions are we thinking about today? So, my brothers and sisters in Christ, just like Mary, may we waste our gifts, our talents, and our time for and with Jesus. May we focus on love of Jesus fully and lessen the distractions in our lives. Then we can embrace our inner Mary, our inner light, our inner spirit, and show that a life spent on Jesus is not a life wasted. Take care.